Hey guys, welcome back to Bear's Workshop. We are doing our 206th, I think, flyover of the Nikola site. Just so many of them, just so many. And saw a lot of materials for our future trays hanging around the site. Now that they've moved the parking lot, there's a lot of stuff outside. We're going to take a look at that, see what kind of progress they're making on the construction also. Normally we would go over the stock price, but the market's closed here. So we're going to take a look at that, and we'll just see where we ended up on Friday, and then we'll get into the video. Let's see. I'm going to take a look and see how many people we got on. Let's see. We got about 26 people on, and we got 11 likes. If you guys could do me a solid and hit that like button, I would appreciate it. Let's go ahead and take a look at where we closed up on the market on Friday, which was up. It was up 43 cents, which was good. Price still isn't good, but it is what it is. Got up to 580, closed at 568, opened at 524, never looked back. So it just went up from there. So we'll see what tomorrow looks like. Hopefully it's not too bad, but that's what we'll see what tomorrow brings. Now, as for the video, we're probably ready to get there. We got 35 people on, 19 likes. I appreciate that. Let's just take a quick look and see who's checked in. Javier, wonderful, amazing Monday with Bear. Today is so early, right? Yeah, we're going a little early today. In the summertime, we tend to start a little bit early so that it's not 110 degrees out when we're flying, and since we've got everything that we need, we kind of go from there. Javier also says, what are your thoughts on the Nikola stock by 1st of July next week? Big drop coming in case the second proposal is approved. More stock dilution. I think the stock dilution is already priced in, very much so. And also you have to keep in mind that if they get that approved, the 200 million shares, that means that they have the ability to issue up to 200 million. It doesn't mean that they are going to issue 200 million. For example, if they decided they needed $100 million for operations, they can release enough shares to get $100 million to continue funding everything. And if the stock's at 568, well, divide 100 million by 568, and you're going to get how many shares that they'd actually issue. So, and then they can hold on to them and issue them. Like, if, let's say, in a couple months after they've announced some really good deliveries and the stock goes up to 10, well, then it's a good time to issue more stock, and or not issue more stock, but get the stock in play so that they get the money for it. So that's a good way to do it. We've got a couple of highs and hellos from around the world. Hello, everyone. It's good for you guys to be here. Got Germany, Italy. Where else we got? Let's see. Chris says, what up, Bear? Hope you had a great weekend. Howdy, Plymouth, England. Nice. Pat G says, what would be the price for you selling your first shares? For me, it's 15. Well, I've got some on margin, so I'd probably sell sooner, just to clear out my margin. So that's, and I also still see it going back and forth. So Alberta, Canada, headquarters of TC Energy. I am going to Canada, I believe, in September. There is going to be an event there with BCIT called Evolution. And if any of you guys are interested, we'll be talking about it more as we get closer. Brian from My Tesla Weekend is going to be there. It's going to be a big kind of EV conference thing. And I was told that I am going to be on a panel. So you guys want to join, want to go, anyone who's local there, I will be there. And we'll have more info in the future as we get closer to that. Let's see. Nikola said they're not going to dilute the shares if the price is low. And why would they? Unless they were desperate for money. But if they have the ability to issue it, there's no point and getting the money just to put in the bank account right now when they have enough money right now to get through the year. And if they have the ability to cash in these shares at some point next year or late this year, and the stock price is double what it is now, then that's what you do. That means they would need to put out less shares. So let's see. Lucas says 2025, $150. Fred is in UK, and we got a hello from Hi Bear from India. Let's see. Oh, by the way, someone complained last week on last week's live stream about me acknowledging all your hellos, and to that guy, you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna acknowledge people. I mean, acknowledge everybody, but if you don't like it, too bad. Sorry. Alberta, British Columbia, Saskatchewan. Hydrogen is hopelessly inefficient, says Fred. Less than 17%. Well, that's a lot of little information. A lot of things to say with little information. Less than 17% of, let's see, Torsian, 14,000 pre-orders, FCEV trays. Mark Russell said today in London. Also, he visited Ulm today. I have not heard that. I want to see if that's if there's any truth to that, or if that's just a rumor. Let's see. Nikola. Got a new keyboard. Now it's even harder for me to type. Let's see. That was... Where did you hear that information? I would love to hear about it. Let's see. June 2nd. Let's see. That's a... He said that these 14,000 have been logged in a long time ago, so Torstein is right. He said it. Okay. I'd love to find more information on that, because that is like an unofficial, official announcement. Let's see if I can type. Here we go. Nikola trucks, 14,000 orders and counting. Let's take a look at that video. We're going to play that. It's a YouTube video. I'm not sure whose it is, but we're going to play that. And we're going to see. Let's see here. I'm going to have to change a couple settings to get so that you guys can hear this. I haven't seen this. So let's get this brought over. And we will take a look. The hell is that? All right. Skip the ad. Put the. I got to change the volume here. Give me a second. We'll get this going for you. I got to change the settings so that you guys can hear this. Screen recording. All right. If you guys can't hear this, let me know. And I got to put on my headphones so I can hear it. Oh, headphones. There goes lunch. Fell on the floor. Wasn't prepared for this, but we're going to do it because we want to all hear it. That's what we're here for. News. Nikola news, right? All right. Here we go.
Nikola Motors CEO, Mark Russell, was in London recently for Move 2022, an event dedicated to mobility that every year brings together transport operators, tech companies, energy companies, fast-growing startups.
This sounds like
and
a bot
mostly
talking.
From Europe. During a chat on the main stage, Mark Russell gives an update to the European and international audience about the current demand for Nikola trucks. Part of this demand will be fulfilled by the factory in Ulm, a twin plant of the facility in Arizona. Take a listen.
That's a great story. You know, we were growing and getting to the point where we were looking for a partner to help us move into mass production. So we talked to pretty much anybody who would talk to us in the OEM truck manufacturing world. And before I met with Iveco, they're not the biggest, So I didn't know what to think until I met with them, and they had a really impressive pitch, which was, we have the newest diesel vehicle in the world coming on here. This was in early 2019, we were talking to them, and they said, we're working on a brand new diesel truck. And that was introduced right before we formed our partnership in July of 19 in Madrid. I was there. They introduced the Iveco S-Way, which I think is the newest, technically the newest diesel truck that's been introduced in the world. I don't know anybody in the world who's working on a new diesel truck. So the Iveco S-Way may be the last diesel truck. I pray that's true. I hope that that is the last diesel truck that anybody ever introduces on the planet Earth. And we have the great fortune of partnering with the company that built that. So the parts bin that we get to use in making the Nikola tray, which most of the parts in that bin by number, there's almost 10,000 parts in a heavy truck. 90+% of those parts we can use as stock. We're not innovating wheels and tires and doors and glass and closures, and there's so many parts that we can use.
Okay, we're going to skip through this a little bit.
The facility is in production, and so far they love it.
Okay.
We'll
Thanks for the heads up out there.
version of the S-Way in production very soon, we hope. Our European facility is in Ulm, Germany. Going to Germany in the morning. That facility is beautiful and is very capable of ramping up to start feeding the European market. We've got a great launch customer in the port of Hamburg. So we get very conservatively ramp up, and you'll see us produce slowly at first and then hopefully very rapidly after that. We think that we'll be producing trucks this year in the hundreds, and then next year up from there, and then the following year from there. Both from Ulm, Germany, and from Coolidge, Arizona, which is our North American manufacturing base. The Ulm, Germany plant, by the way, is a repurposed Iveco facility that had been idled. We've gone in there, redone it. It's a state-of-the-art facility, and the production line itself is a twin to what we have in Arizona, which is a greenfield facility, where there's, by the way, is a massive amount of investment going on there. Our corporate neighbor there is a company called Lucid that's making passenger vehicles. We're making heavy trucks. A lot of other support is coming in there. LG just announced a battery factory for the area. And so there's a lot of stuff happening there to create what I think will be a future center of excellence for zero-emission vehicles there in the United States and Arizona.
Great, thanks very much. So a major startup OEM like Nikola is a very investment-hungry business. Can you give us a sense of where you are in your investment cycle?
Well, we had huge interest from the beginning. We opened a reservation book where no deposits, just give us a reservation, indicate your interest. We ended up with over 14,000 reservations for the hydrogen fuel cell truck several years ago. And that has been, everybody there is still there. We turned one into a launch customer in the form of Anheuser-Busch, part of AMMF. And Anheuser-Busch became our launch customer when we said, look, we think we can take the long haul part of your network and convert it to these hydrogen fuel cell trucks, match your cost of ownership with diesel, and if we can do that, would you switch your whole fleet? And they said yes. They're a pathfinder. They're blazing a trail for everybody else. They're very aggressive goals to get to zero emissions. And they signed up to convert their entire fleet, gave us an 800 truck order, and gave us a contract. So they're the launch truck customer for the fuel cell truck. On the battery side, we've got customers like TTSI, which is, again, path blazing, pioneering customer who's committed to buy 100 vehicles from us in a memorandum of understanding, 30 of the battery trucks, 70 of the fuel cell trucks. We have a total of about a year's worth of production of the battery truck that's under memorandum of understanding or letter of intent. And then we have the reservations, the total 14,000 for the fuel cell truck, of which 800 of those are in the form of a contract with Anheuser-Busch. So we're really well situated to the customers. I have never talked to a customer who wasn't interested in the proposition of, how about I take your fleet of diesel trucks and I replace them with zero emission trucks?
All right, we're gonna cut it right there. Pat had already watched this, so we were just looking for that 14,000 truck information, and we got it. So, yeah, okay, so 14,000 reservations is good. Of course, those have to convert into orders. 800 of them have been converted to orders, and we'll have to see where the other 14,000 reside at. They could be Amazon, they could be UPS, they could be FedEx, they could just be regular shipping companies like PGT or TTSI, or maybe allotments for dealerships. So we'll have to see what comes out of that in the future. But it's good to hear, because I don't recall ever hearing that before, that there was 14,000 reservations. Now, there are no money down reservations. We know that. And very little commitment with something like that. Even when, if you're making a pre-order for a Silverado, a Hummer, a Cybertruck, any of those cars, you have to put some money down. So, it's not great in the sense that it's a pretty loose contract. It's just a reservation, meaning any one of you guys could have made a reservation on one of these trucks. So I don't know if they vet them at all. So maybe Micah had put in 10,000 of those. You never know. Let's see. Tyler and Fred are going at it and talking about hydrogen electrolyzers. You guys have fun in the chat. I'm going to stay ahead of that. Let's see. Peter Rawlinson has a voice for professionals. MR, while good at his job, still needs to decrease his and between sentences. Yeah, so do I, by the way. But part of the difference, and I don't know if this is what iMelt is talking about, is Mark sounds more sincere, where Peter's speaking voice is so good that it almost sounds like, I'm not going to say an actor, but just everything he says comes out very well spoken, and it almost doesn't seem real because he's such a good speaker as far as that goes. There's no ahs. He knows exactly what he's talking about. He's a very intelligent guy, and watching his videos is nice because he breaks things down to something that somebody like me can understand. But there's something about his the way he speaks that it's just too perfect. I don't know if that makes sense, but it takes some of the real out of it. And Mark, because he might have some ums and ahs, it just sounds like he's talking off the top of his head, and Peter's sounds very scripted but authentic. It doesn't sound like he's reading from a teleprompter. Anyway, I'm rambling. Let's go take a look at today's video. And as we start, I'm going to catch up on the comments. Tinky was asking how much the price of the trays will be after government credits. It depends on where they're buying them from. California has a different credit than New York, so it just depends on where you're going to be buying them. It's funny. Russell said they're producing 3 to 4 trucks every day. I can't say that that's true 100%. I'll tell you this. When we were there in April 27th-ish, they were doing 2 a day. Actually, probably 2.5. And their goal was to get it up to 10 in this phase. I think it was 10. So are they producing 3 or 4 every day? It's very, very possible. We're seeing more and more trucks out there. As we fly over this, you guys are going to see a whole lot of trucks, all just lined up. And you know that's not all the trucks, because trucks are getting shipped out all the time also. So if Mark Russell said it's 3 to 4 trucks a day, I have no doubt that they're definitely at 3 by now, because it's all a matter of making your line more productive and getting through each station quicker, because they were moving each station every 4 hours. So that means a truck comes off the line every 4 hours. They're working 10-hour shifts. That means 2.5 trucks a day if the line's moving every 4 hours. Now, if they brought the line down to 90 minutes, then they would be producing, what's the number? Like 6 trucks a day, something like that. Hello, Olivia. This is going to be the area where we're going to see phase 2 of the building start. We know we've got phase 2 started in different areas. Now that they have all the employees parking underneath the solar panels and they don't have everybody in that common area, that's where all the supplies are stacking up. Pat says 5 at the end of the year is goal. That would be 5 a day, starting November. I do believe that they need to probably get more than 5, because they're working 4 days a week, 4 10s. So 5 a week would put them at 20, or 5 a day puts them at 20 a week. We've got 26 weeks, about 27 weeks left in the year. So if we were doing 20 times 27 weeks, that's 540. So I guess that probably is really close to the goal, because they're going to do 300 to 500. There was an interview with Kim Brady last week. I shared it on Twitter. It was just the written word. I didn't actually have the video. As you can see here, we got the frames right here, which we don't count. Those are outdated frames that are not going to be used for these trucks. I don't know why they're outdated, but they've gone with something different. Tinky says, why no solar panels on the roof? I can't tell you why they're not on the roof. Maybe that's future plans, or maybe not at all. But they have quite a bit right there in the parking lot. That's over 700 kilowatts of panels. I think it's around 750 kilowatts of panels. Let's see. Do you have any idea on Ulm production plants? I don't. It seems to be a little strange, because that plant seemed to have been done like last year. They showed videos of it, but we just haven't heard much coming out of there. Yeah, okay, so you guys hear, if you hear puppies in the background, I'm sorry. We have puppies right now, and they're making a little bit of noise right now. So yeah, puppies for sale. But anyway, here we have 73 cabs. So there was more deliveries since our last visit on Wednesday. You can see a number of those cabs are still wrapped up and just sitting there. I didn't count how many new cabs there were, but total is 73. And you can see that that trucker over on the top right, he made a real nice fit in there. And we got stacks of the fifth wheel hitches. So this is, I think they're in stacks of 2. I didn't count them, but it looks like they're in stacks of 2, but I'm not 100% sure, because they're wrapped up, they're hard to see. And then we got stacks of tires. And you know what? We didn't go around to see how many is in each stack, but each truck is going to take 10 tires. I know it said 6, I think, in the past. I was wrong. I don't know where I got that. I can't count. But there's 8 in the back and 2 up front. Tinky asks, are many trucks leaving the site? We have seen trucks on trailers. We're only there for a couple hours each week, so we don't see every truck that comes in and goes out. But here we have an entire row of trucks. You are looking right now at 29 trucks. I'm sorry, 32 trucks, plus where my mouse is up here. There's a Charger out there. There's another, so there's another truck up there, and this one driving here. So this is 33, and this one is 34. This one is driving towards us. This one right here is 27. Right here's 3. This is another 2. Another one right there and up there. So 34 trucks. And now they're moving again. why Trevor and Milton voted against in the vote, because Trevor Milton is a bad dude. Yes. I hope you guys really. There's a couple people that still think he was great. He wasn't. He caused Nikola a lot of problems by making promises that weren't real. So, and the fact that he's voting against it says that he wants Nikola to fail. When you look at Lucid's site, there are a boatload of workers and equipment, and this site seems to be quiet. Are they slow playing this build? The phase that they're in right now, they're working on the dyno building, the wash building, which is right here on the screen, and they're also working on the track. Those are the main things that they're working on. So there's not really much to see right now. They're working on the inside. It looks like they're getting ready to paint the wash building. There's a guy right there in the middle of the screen. He is actually washing the wash building, or if you're from Maryland, he's washing the wash building. Just want to respect my Maryland viewers. But that's all the work you're going to see on the outside. Inside, there's a lot going on. I've been in there, so I know that there was a lot going on. And just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. You do see there is a lot more activity at Lucid. Construction is going on today. But you'll see if you watch Lucid's video, the production is not running today because they took the day off for a Juneteenth holiday, which is our new federal holiday. Around here you can see the track work going on. Someone had asked earlier, when are they going to be laying asphalt and doing the paving for this? That's going to be the very last thing that happens. And with the amount of work that needs done, I'm going to say easily a month to 3 months. I don't know exactly what they need to do, but I know that they need to do drainage. They're probably going to do lighting. They've got to raise the elevation on the embankment because there's going to be a grade, I think, of 16.5% on these turns. So there's a decent amount of work to do, but they're also not in a hurry. Lucid is actually going out there and telling their contractors, hurry up, we need this done quickly. And they're pushing up deadlines where this is not scheduled to be done right away. So there's no need to have, double the crew or triple the crew just to get this done quicker, and then pay the contractors more money to have this done. IML says Nikola's on schedule with construction. If anyone is behind, it's Lucid. I don't know if Lucid is behind. They've got a lot going on, and that is a big site. What's the deal with the gray truck? Any differences with the rest? The gray truck is their show truck. Like when they have an event, they take that gray truck is usually the one that's there. That is definitely the show truck. Let's see, the whole purpose of creating EV trucks when gasoline and diesel trucks do just as good. I mean, it's just a tax write-off for a bigger company. What's the point? The point is that you're green, you're saving the environment. It will actually cost you less. The cost of maintenance, total cost of ownership is a lot less, and you're not spewing out emissions. The vehicles are quieter. So there's a lot of advantages, especially the main one being the total cost of ownership. Let's see, Javier, it'd be cool to have Trevor Milton's trial stream next month in YouTube. Can't remember the date. I don't think I want to give him that much attention, to be honest with you. If a vote's not accepted, what will happen to Nikola? A lot of stocks I'm scared of. Well, I think, one, that it will get accepted, and if it doesn't, they'll probably try and do it again and just make a better point, or maybe they'll issue for less shares if they don't do it. But I don't know. I don't have the insight on that. But they still have enough money to go until I believe first quarter of next year. So, but I think they'll definitely be able to raise money. Let's see. Won't the next part of the factory be ready by November? Wouldn't that mean like 8 to 12 a day? The next part of the factory will not be done by November, phase 2. That's going to just be starting probably in the next week or two. IMO says, hold until we moon. Let's see here. Federal trials in the USA cannot be video recorded per their rules. That's right. That's right. JKM sounds like from Russell London that they're able to raise additional capital that they will announce at ER. Well, we'll see. Tyler, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. He says, any guesses on major companies that Kim was talking about last week regarding hydrogen production partners? I don't have any guesses. When I guess, I tend to guess wrong, so I don't think it would be a good idea. Let's see here. Are the trays certified for sale in the USA? What's stopping the sales? They are certified. There's been plenty that have been delivered, so I think the only thing that's stopping the sales is getting them delivered. Maybe they're waiting on payment. Could be anything. It's not always as simple as writing a check and go, okay, we want this truck, send it over. There are things that need to happen. Let's see. Do you think after most things are electric, would there still be a need with gas and oil and ICE vehicles? I think there's still a lot of improvements that need to be made for internal combustion engines to get electric motors up to speed for internal combustion engines. You've got a lot of lawn equipment that commercial people use, commercial landscapers. You've got generators that will use motorized engines, and I'm just going to name a few. So things like that right now cannot be replaced by an electric vehicle or an electric battery and motor. The battery that you would need to replace a generator, let's say a 3,500 watt generator, would be quite large for you to run a 3,500 watt generator, which is something that you need at a construction site, 3,500 to 5,000 kilowatts. And it would be pretty massive to get something like that. So there is things that need to be done to have that work out better. Now, running it off like, let's say, an F-150, that could work, but you also need to leave enough power for that F-150 to get home. So there's always going to, well, I'm not going to say there's always, but there's going to be a need for oil and gas for a while. But I don't think that they're going to be in cars in a couple, well, in 10 years. There's going to be very few new internal combustion engine vehicles. People are going to start seeing the value in the electric vehicles. So I think that's coming. But also oil is used for a lot of other things, plastics and other things, and it'll just shift to that. What do I think about the New York tax incentive deal for Nikola? Will it make sales? It's definitely going to make sales. I'm not a big fan of government involvement, but when you're rooting for something like Nikola and something like that happens, you take it. If I was to buy an electric car and get a tax credit, even though I'm not a big fan of the government tax credits, I'm still going to take it. So it's definitely going to help. Kingman, how many trucks can they make for a day? I think we're looking at somewhere between 3 and 5 right now is the latest word. Every day I see more battery electric vehicle cars on the road. No turning back now. I agree. I'm getting another one next week. Last week we got the Model S came in. Great car. Love it. Next week we have an Ioniq 5 coming in. So that's going to be added to my fleet. And I haven't driven the car. I haven't even seen one. But I was able to get one from California and it's getting delivered. Let's see. Pat G wasn't able to vote from Germany, by the way, as Nikola is a foreign company. Oh. Well, that's too bad. Plug Power Nikola, what are your thoughts on that? I have no thoughts right now. Is the dilution, I think, is 10% a share, so Trevor percentage would drop also. Voting power. Yeah, but so does everyone else, so. We will be long dead before we see electric outselling ICE. Disagree with you, Scott. unless you're really old. I mean, maybe you're 89 or something, and so that could be a true statement. I'm not. I definitely think within 10 years, easy, if not sooner, ICE vehicles make up about 4.5% of registrations in the United States, and they are much higher in many other countries. Much, much higher. Let's see. I think it'll be a small improvement to store the finished trucks under a sunshade. Probably not. The vehicles are made to be outside, and I don't think it's going to affect it much. And once you get a sunshade put up, it's every time you back in a truck, you run the risk of hitting that covered parking thing. So it's just not something that's we'll probably ever see. We don't see that at any other car manufacturers. They just kind of put them out there in the sun because they're designed to be outside. On the new section of the building, do they build the frame, walls, roof, and then lay the concrete floor, or other way around? It depends on the contractor and how they want to build it. So far in this building, they have done the frames and the roof before they did the concrete. Now, we've seen in other places, in Lucid, they're doing both. Some areas they lay the concrete first and then put up the walls. But it all depends on what you're doing and how big your building is. The bigger your building, the more likely you're going to have to put up your steel first and then come back and put in the concrete, because you can't get a crane in there to lift up all the materials if the crane can't reach. So you end up having to get a larger crane, and the larger cranes that are going to have the longer reach. I was told by a guy who was working for the steel companies, the regular size cranes aren't too big, but they still have like the scaffolding boom. Those can cost $18,000 to $20,000 a month to rent them. You get into those larger cranes that have the longer reach, they jump up to like $1 million a month. So if you lay the concrete down, you have to get ones with a further reach. If you put the steel up first and the concrete later, you don't need to have a longer reach crane, which costs substantially more. So that's the story on that. Good question. Long answer. Let's see. Olivia says, Lucid GT Performance will be making its debut this week. Yeah, that's going to be fun to see. Salami Swami, I started Nikola Week. So excited. Salami, what are you doing there? Tell us. Let's see. Hope the Fed lowers the stock price again so I can buy more. All right. Yeah, I says, Salami, you got to give Bear the inside info. Scott says most people cannot afford a 50K plus vehicle. That's true. But I'll tell you something. If you're buying a $40,000 vehicle and gas vehicle, and you compare it to a $10,000 EV, the amount of money that you save in gas is going to make up for your monthly payment by a lot. You're going to save so much money on gas that it kind of offsets the additional money you might have on a monthly payment. It's a fact. I've run the numbers on how much money I was saving when I got rid of my gas vehicle. And I mean, I do have gas vehicles. I have 9 of them, I think. And when I've got to fill them up, it costs a whole lot of money. When I plug in my EVs, it costs me a whole lot less money. Plus, I don't have oil changes. I've got a Model Y that's got 38,000 miles on it. I bought it almost a year and a half ago. And I have put windshield wiper fluid in it and changed a couple of tires. That's all I've done for maintenance. You've got to look at things like that. So obviously here we are flying over again. Hold on a second, guys. Just say it out loud. Hey, can you guys tell me if you're hearing anything in the background, any noises coming up or anything like that? Let's see. All right. So, anyway, that's my rant. Most people can't afford a 50K plus vehicle. I mean, you're right, but the average cost of a new vehicle is around 40K. Plus, your value is going to be retained more on an EV than it is on an ICE vehicle. Thanks, Bear, for helping us up to date on what's going on with Nikola. No problem. When does the second part start to build? I'm going to say within the next couple of weeks. Jokol is here. Have you heard that IKEA has also begun to test the Nikola vehicle? Volvo Trucks has also tested their first fuel truck. I haven't seen anything about IKEA, but I don't doubt it. Trays will help to manage the grid, Mark said, in London. Well, we'll have to see. Salami says a loud ringing. Okay. I've made a change. Hopefully that noise goes away. Market is closing in a few minutes. +1 on Nikola. Afraid Nazca is still... I thought the market was closed today. Let's see. When does one person need more than 9 vehicles? When you use them for a business. And I have 12. 9 of them are gas, 3 of them are electric. They're business vehicles. CE green. Sounds like your drone is flying in your room, so no problem. It's not. I have the air conditioning on because it's too hot here to do anything. We want a puppy cam. No, you don't. I need to go feed and water them as soon as I get off. It's time. Imel says he has a rental fleet. It's not for one person. It's for hundreds. Second the motion for puppy cam. My God, you know what? If you guys want puppies, just reach out to me. Yeah, they are for sale. I'm one of them. Let's see. We've been hearing your startup modem noise. And it sounds like an AC hum. There is an AC hum in the background. Real sorry about that. Once it gets cooler out, we'll get rid of that. So we've been going about 45 minutes and close to it. If you guys got any more questions about Nikola, let's throw them out there right now. I will just restart this one more time, but we're not going to make it all the way through because we're going to end it at some point. Yes, it is heat stroke season. I probably get heat stroke once a day, and I just walk it off, throwing up as I walk. Yeah, it gets super hot out here. So you guys got any other questions about Nikola? We do have a Lucid video coming right after. We're going to get that published probably in the next hour or two. And we will be doing a live stream tomorrow, fast charging with B&B. That is Bear and Brian from My Tesla Weekend. And that'll be at 4 p.m. Where do you store all your vehicles, Rick asked. I actually store them at my property. I've got just under 2 acres. But oftentimes I don't have to store them because they're never all here. They're always out. Not all of them, but right now I probably have, let's see. I think out of those 8, I may have 6 of them are here right now, or maybe 5. I'm looking at my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 are here, and I have to go deliver one in about an hour and a half. So, yes, it's 12 vehicles, but they're never all here, so parking is not an option, or not a problem. Dave says the noise is not annoying at all. Thanks. And Sebastian says, push the like button. Yes, we have 60 likes. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. And our next flyover, our live stream of the Lucid site will be on Wednesday. So please join us for that. But please join us for fast charging. We don't get as many viewers as I'd like to get on there. This is awesome. We got 90 people on. Tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Come on, guys. Join up. Get in the chat. We talk about all things EV. Scott, you can come on and tell us how you don't like EVs if you want, and we'll address any concerns that you have. Let's see. Rick says some type of dinging or ring noise every now and again. News flow on Nikola seems to have slowed. What's the next catalyst? I think they're waiting for the market to settle down, and probably during the earnings report. What do you think about bringing back Trevor? They're not going to be bringing back Trevor. That is not even a possibility. They're literally suing him for money. Thank you, Jokel. Don't forget to share Bear's videos to your friends. All right. Well, that's gonna be about it. We're gonna wrap it up. And Trevor should not come back. He is bad, bad, bad. We don't. What purpose would there be to bring Trevor back? To hurt the stock price? He doesn't have any intellectual abilities regarding this. He was just the idea man, and his ideas went too far. But yeah, he did get this going. But that's pretty much all he did as far as what we need. Ideas, okay, they're rolling with it. But anyway, I'm not talking about him anymore. So everybody, thank you for watching. We'll hopefully see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific for our next live stream. So everyone, thanks for watching.